Good evening, everyone. Treasure Troller here from the militant state of Michigan. And oh, what a militant state it is. We'll get to that. But first, I had something else that I was kind of mulling over. And I thought I haven't fully worked it out yet. But I saw these abortion protests, and they were having them in Michigan, down in Grand Rapids. And they finally kind of come out and say, well, you know, Michigan is pretty much its abortion on demand state. I mean, they don't have any issue. There's no abortion issue in the state of Michigan, which is why I don't understand why there's abortion issues anywhere else. But they want to make this is sort of like, instead of, used to be during elections where Democrats or Republicans, well, they're going to push grandma off the cliff, with your health care, whatever. The health care solution is pushing grandma off the cliff. Well, now it's, they won't let you throw your fetus off the cliff. But I was kind of wondering about this and like, where is the big deal? And I thought, there was one time that we didn't hear about abortion and the abortion issue and not access to abortions. And that was during the immunity enhancement program. There were a lot of problems during the Chinese immunity enhancement program. Stores were closed. You could go into Home Depot. You could buy drywall, but you couldn't buy seeds. Yeah. I mean, just the things you could and couldn't do. Stores closed early. You had to wear a mask down the aisle of the restaurant, but as soon as you got to your table, you could take the mask off, because there weren't any things you could catch at the table. It was all flowing through the air in between the tables and in the aisles. There's a lot of talk about how difficult things were, but getting an abortion wasn't one of them. Why? So what rabbit hole have I thought myself down into? So I did a little check, and as it turns out, there were, I can't, I'm not going to do Chisholm Bop here to figure out the exact numbers, but there's approximately, at the time of the immunity enhancement program, this was approximately 2020-ish, I guess, there were little over 720 abortion clinics. And of those 720, less than 20 closed permanently. They were on a kind of a temporary. Some of them were on limited services. There were some that didn't have, they didn't offer the abortion, but they did offer telemed, and you could order. You could do you could take a pill rather than going and have the procedure done. But this crazy political issue is only a campaign issue. There was never any problem getting, women's health services during the immunity enhancement program. Certainly not being able to get an abortion. They had telemed. They backed off from the visit, because normally you have to go see the doctor. Now what they were doing, more likely than not, you talk to the doctor, you went in, you got the labs done, confirmed the pregnancy, and then they would order you the med, and it would come in. And I was kind of thinking about this. There was that commercial that used to be on TV about those women getting their contraceptive pills through the mail, and they were all happy about it, and there was actually only about one of them that actually probably needed the pill, that would use the pill. But I was looking, I wished I could remember the name of that company. I just thought about it offhand. But Chelsea Clinton was on the board, was a board member of that company. So, seems like some of these, wouldn't be surprised if these Gates foundations and stuff like that were involved in, the online medication prescription. But that's just something that's just kind of BS. That's more conspiracy. But why? I'm not sure why, when abortion comes up, especially because it's, of course, the Republicans are taking away this right. Why don't they just say, well, let's run it like we did COVID? I mean, they did have a standing order from a federal judge to do this. I don't know why they just don't go back and try to make it a permanent thing. As long as there's been a telemed conference. I mean, the only person that's got anything to lose is the doctor to say, well, I saw him or talked to him, but I didn't. I mean, it would fall on the doctor to say, yes, we did a Zoom conference. Yes, I ordered the labs. Yes, I reviewed the labs. Yes, I confirmed the pregnancy. Yes, the patient wanted the meds, so I wrote the script for it. So I don't know why the answer to abortion for maybe the Republicans would be, there really wasn't an issue during COVID, so why don't we just go back to the COVID rules? I guess that would be my take. I'm working on it, though. There's a 90-page legal brief that I wanted to read over before I got real down into it. The second thing is, of course, just how militant is the militant state? So the question that I would ask you guys, I would pose a question to you, would be, if you were a politician in Michigan and you wanted to be elected or get elected, how would you go about doing that? What would be your best moves? You just want to be a politician and you want to have a career in politics. You're making a career decision. Well, the first thing you'd probably want to do is be a Democrat. Probably the path of least resistance is to be a Democrat, because the Democrats get a majority of their support from the unions, the auto workers union, the teachers union, this ridiculous service industry union, teachers union, if I didn't say them. So the Democratic candidates are heavily supported by the unions. Not to mention Detroit is the black hole of voting when it comes to Republican, where it all seems to, everything is always going well until you start counting Wayne County's votes, and then things go south. But anyways, you would want that support, and if you came into office, it was probably because of the support and money and votes you got from the union and Detroit. So, with that, what's made Detroit, when you think of Detroit in an economic sense, you think of the auto industry. all the jobs associated with the auto industry, the line workers, the better than average pay and benefits and retirement benefits and bonuses, the millions of dollars it's paid to its executives. But the auto industry is the lifeblood of Michigan. There are several companies throughout this state that are small tool and die companies that, make certain products for the cars and whatnot. But anyways, it's the Democrats, it's the union supporters, and it's the auto industry that really make this state work, or make it Democrat. So what does Dana, the sleestack looking Nessel Attorney General, decide to do? Well, this is the militant state, of course. She's decided to sue energy companies for climate change. She's going after the oil companies. Now, you would think you'd go, Dana, with all these insurrectionists in the state, how do you find the time? How could you possibly time manage to sue oil companies? Well, Dana isn't exactly going to do it herself. She's going to hire these special attorney generals, kind of like special counsels. So they're going to go on a bidding process. And I guess the one company that will take the less money out, if there's money and the majority goes to the state, well, that's the winner. But they're actually going to start suing oil companies for climate change. And I think they do it this way first because there's sort of this incentive to drag money out of people, because the only way they get paid is if they drag money out of them. And it also keeps you at, plausible deniability as an attorney general or a politician to say, hey, this was just an idea. What was that thing from Germany? It was just a mission statement. It was just a mission statement. So, you have a little plausible deniability in what actually takes place. They could have said there was no way we could sue them, whatnot. But anyways, they want to start out with the oil companies, and then they're going to go for the gas companies. So DTE will be next in line. Then all these smaller companies that provide propane to heat houses. That's what her focus is. Suing oil companies for climate change. It's unbelievable. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it gets worse. Now, how Gretchen Whitmer is putting up with this. How do you go back to the unions and say, give me your money because I want to sue all these people that you've created businesses for? It's you rat bastards that put together these fuel combusted engines and vehicles and send them out there that make these companies bring oil and gasoline to us. If it wasn't for you rat bastards, I wouldn't have to sue these oil companies. How do you go back and ask for their support and their money? This is the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. But it is the militant state, and we are talking about Dana Nessel. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.